Welcome to the Wandering Inn, where we produce tabletop role-playing and actual play shows for your entertainment. If you find yourself enjoying the show, please take a moment to consider supporting the channel via the Patreon. With that support, we pay the cast, pay for the art and production for our shows, and are hoping to expand the number of shows we bring to you. All of your support is appreciated, and always remember to check the description for links related to the channel and the cast. Welcome, pull up a pew and get comfy, the show's about to start. But before it does, Manor Most Foul is set in MÖRK BORG, and our storyteller for this is Sebastian Illustration, also known as Under the Sea. Alongside this, he is also responsible for the art you'll be seeing during the show. Our cast consists of Valen Vane, Pony Punch, Syrinx, and Sheepdog. I encourage you to investigate the description to find links to their individual channels and content, except for Sheepdog, who is the owner of this channel and currently reading out the intro to you. Thank you for watching, and we hope you enjoy Manor Most Foul.
So where last we left off, you had all sort of recuperated and regathered your wits for a moment of rest in the library. The body of Bughamtoe had been wrapped in a series of drapery, sheets, curtains, and the like, dragged down to the library, or what was left of it, and eyed astutely by patiently awaiting Spind, waiting to see if her theory about the magics of the manor were indeed correct. Elsewhere, Sponge was likely attending to the prince.
I was outside
Griffin...
watching my smalls.
Oh, that's right. Yes, there had been a terrible incident in the downstairs region of Sponge's underdrawers. Alas, a terrible thing. Not wanting to afflict the prince with your wretched and rancid effluvium, taking a quick moment outside to rinse them off in rain puddles in the back garden behind the manor. Groton as well would have an opportunity at this time to forage for any new potion and tincture making materials, some of which may be readily available in the garden space.
Perfect. What were the rolls for that?
Let's find out. The rolls for that are first of which I will require from you let's see, a D8.
D8, okay. A 2. But yeah, I would definitely, just for context, head out, because since we're in the library, the door out. Just head out there, yeah. And look in the garden area. What is around?
The perfect spot for some quiet foraging. The first tincture you are able to create today is Azumiel's Vapor. Okay. The cause of this allows you to pass a DR14 test or severe and arguably fun hallucinations for D4 hours.
D4 hours, cool.
So you can do a little trip it. Delightful. Give me another D8 roll, please.
Yes. 2. Oh my god.
Yeah. I'll allow you to re-roll if you'd care to. Otherwise, you can just make a lot of this.
No, I'll roll another time, sure.
All the LSD.
1.
All right. Variety being the spice of life. You find some tiny red caps, the perfect thing for making some red poison, which involves a toughness DR12 test, or they must suffer minus D10 hit points.
D10 hit points, nice.
And lastly, I'll need a D4 roll.
There you go, a 4. Here we go.
So you can make a total of 4 concoctions of any combination of your choosing between those two.
Okay. Seeing as there has already been some dangers involved, Gratin would probably make 3 of the red poison, and then Samiel's vapor was the other one. One of those.
Izumiel's vapor.
Izumiel's, yes. So yes.
Marvelous. You concoct some nasty poison and one particularly fascinating hallucinogen. Sponge, if I recall, you rather horrendously defecated in a moment of critical failure. Am I correct?
Yeah, very much so. I was wrestling with the were rug and proceeded to unclench in a moment, a lapse of concentration, and proceeded to what can only be described as decorate the underside of my loins.
Paint.
In the most visceral of fragrances. It was potent, and so much so that I was genuinely worried that it might make the prince ill again. So at this moment in time, I am like out the back, squatted, bare-arsed in the rain, probably still wearing everything but my little trousers, my trews, just desperately scrubbing the worst of the stuff away in some kind of muddy puddle. The theory being, to Sponge's mind, that if it's in a muddy puddle, any stains could just be mud.
That's true.
Valid. Go ahead and give me an agility roll.
Oh God.
I'm just glad Sponge didn't ask Finn to change him with the whole weird mother issues he seems to have.
18.
You have now, either by scrubbing away the mess that was there, or by simply soiling to a more uniform degree the entirety of your trousers, effectively done away with the mess to a degree that you feel would be satisfactory to the prince's nostrils.
That's good. In which case, I put on the mud-clagged, horrible, sloppy trowels and once again do up the butt flap.
Marvelous. You are once again fit for duty.
Yeah. I feel like Sponge is the kind of person as well that, like, after doing that, in order, like, started putting them on and was like, oh, hold on, better clean myself. And then, like a dog with an itchy ass, just, like, sits on the grass and just pulls.
like an ampersand.
Yeah, just pulls himself along. He's like, okay, that'll do.
Imagine.
Okay. No, it's all right. Oh, it's a bit squelchy, but don't worry. The prince won't be offended now, at least.
I imagine Grathan witnessing this as he's like looking for flowers and stuff. Just... Moron.
Picking like Herb's ass.
Yeah.
Sponge just brushes his ass on the grass.
Not those ones. No.
I need those.
Sorry. It's okay. I found this red cap.
Yeah, bits of nature stuck in the valley down below. Yeah, Sponge, you have the ingredients to make one nasty something or other. Somewhere in the manor, a chiming clock can be heard, striking 12 times, signaling the hour of midnight has come and passed. which means it is technically a new day and another opportunity for a misery to befall you all. At this time, I'll need you all to agree on what die you would like that to be. Will you resume the d20, or will you venture lower?
I think we agreed to a venture lower, correct?
I'm
What's
all
the
for
lowest
venturing lower.
dice?
No, not the lowest.
I've
Roll a
already
D1.
died. I don't need an apocalypse.
I do have a coin handy.
Oh god.
I guess a D12 is next.
I'm all for gambling and just saying D10. Let's.
I was gonna say 6.
Oh.
But we have to find a middle ground here.
I'm happy to go half. I think if the lower we go, the more we're pushing it. Like,
Yeah.
I think going to D10, yeah, that's not quite so bad.
Okay, sure.
Because remember, again, it only has to land on a certain, like one number
Yeah.
for things to
It's a
go
1 in
cuckoo.
10 chance as opposed to a 1 in 20 chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10. I can do 10. Oh.
Okay.
10 it is. The clock chimes, one after another, a sound you've come to know and fear and recognize as a portent of possible doom and annihilation. With each day, an opportunity to bring you closer to the brink of the end arrives. But that opportunity arrives and passes. The moment seems clear. Today is not a day that brings you closer to the brink. Back in the library, Spind, like a hawk watching a small baby chick, eyes the body bag containing the remains of Bug'em Toe, waiting for it to make any false move. And move it does. Begins to lurch and writhe and move about. And inside, the remains of Bug'em Toe awaken, confused, alarmed perhaps, constrained by some manner. You awaken to sort of a thin, filmy darkness and strange feelings that you can't quite place. Textiles, it seems, something rich, satiny.
Hello? Hello? Just shouting, but also I'm completely covered in like wrapped up in this, and it was wrapped by sponge, right? So it's probably pretty well wrapped. So yeah, you hear you hear muffled shouting.
It's like I'm imagining that Sponge took what was available to him, so it's like a bed sheet or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clear, it will have been tied for the easiest dragging capabilities, not necessarily to bind you.
Okay.
It's whatever it would have been easiest to drag you in, as opposed to actually like tying you up, thinking you were going to escape.
Okay.
Because as far as I'm concerned, you're dead, and therefore it doesn't matter.
In that case, along with shouting, there will be some flailing, and like the weird silk sheets will kind of go all over the place as I'm trying to push and kick my way out of this what must be some sort of trap, clearly.
The Sphinx is just like constantly watching this as well, not even remotely inclined to help, because she's like,
Yeah.
this is a fucking carpet you're rolled into. Like, get a crib, get out of it. Like, fucking do something. So she's just watching, like, until he's like uncovered to talk, and she's like just smiling at this.
Okay. In that case, just probably takes about a minute of panic and pushing and clawing. Eventually, a triumphant stomp crashes out of the material, and then kind of and pull up. Oh,
Welcome back.
You can see immediately that something is off about Buggum Toe. There's a sort of glassy emptiness to his eyes, something distant, far away. You see that his wounds have stopped bleeding, even though you can see the veins exposed and dangling from his shredded forearm. But he doesn't appear to be suffering any pain, any discomfort, only confusion.
point of interest. Wasn't suffering discomfort. Am now suffering discomfort since I realised that Sven is sat in front of me.
Emotional discomfort, to be
Yes.
sure.
Seems like you went and met the void and it spilled you back out.
Yes, I met the void. Have you met the void?
It's gonna be a lot easier for us now with you like this.
The prince sort of chimes in. Yes, I should think so. Very good, doorman. Are you fit and ready to open doors?
Well, I appear to still be missing one hand and also the other hand and part of my forearm. I would love to take up my previous position. However, I do believe it is important to have hands when you open doors.
No, you can push.
Rather keen on excuses, isn't he? Yeah, the prince sort of chides to Sven.
I'm sure that if he wants to take his arm back, he would enter the room with the rug again and die all over.
My arm is still in the room with the rug.
Of course, silly, that's where you died.
Of course. How could I forget? I don't suppose we managed to defeat the vile rug?
Do you want to go and find out?
No, not really.
Made a very tactical retreat, you see.
That's... Yes. Well, at least you got me out as well. I'd have hate to have woken up there.
We don't waste assets of the void like that. If you're lucky, perhaps we find another arm for you to use when we find this treasure.
As long as it works, that sounds great. I do need another arm and another hand. Does anyone remember where my hand went?
No idea what you're talking about, but yeah, try this. And the prince produces Jeff, still behaving rather nicely with the prince. And we'll just sort of forcefully, with the kind of like no questions for your well-being, ask nature of a noble, sort of stand over you, grab your forearm, the one with sort of the exposed like bones and sinew, and simply stick Jeff nub first onto the exposed bones, like they're skewered off there. Even though this is the wrong hand for the wrong arm.
Yeah.
And also, he's got an eye nail to him, so from the from where it meets, there's just a dangling dead man's eye.
Yeah.
Right. That should do the trick. Now you're perfectly capable of resuming your duties.
Well, and take the hand and kind of spin it around so it's facing the right way. It is a left hand, but at least it's facing the right way. I think can I see if... I'm assuming there's no, like, motor function for it.
No, it is doing whatever it feels like. It's
Okay.
just sort of stuck, wriggling on the end of your forearm bones.
Could I maybe like look around, see like maybe pick up a book or something, and just kind of try and slot the book into the hand as it's like wriggling around? I just want to see if it like grasps or not, or if it's like
Yes.
off on its own thing.
Yeah, you hand it a book and it sort of like squeezes onto the book with a tight death grip, and you see it like trying to drag its nails into the fabric of the cover, sort of scratching and peeling away at it.
Well, good news. My hand does grasp. Bad news is I now have to figure out how to make it let go.
So you can use it to open doors?
Yeah, yes.
Excellent. There is some use for you, undead, after all. Take off your shoe, Bugum. You can choose which one.
Which shoe?
Take off your shoe.
Like, look to the prince for a half second, see that he is just kind of off in his own world and really not caring what's going on too much.
Yeah, the prince is like picking mold out from underneath his fingernails, and you see he accidentally like goes a little too hard on one, and it just sort of drops to the floor, and he moves on to the next.
Okay. I'm gonna wiggle out the rest of this mess of fabrics and everything, and stand up and like go down to take my shoe off, and realize I have no way to take my shoe off. I don't have hand. Well, I have a hand, but it's currently holding a book.
Go ahead and give me an agility test if you'd like.
Oh, okay. I really hope I don't die to try to take my shoes off. 13.
You notice that the hand, which before Jeff was very malicious towards your personhood,
Yes.
it no longer seems to regard you at all. It's not really targeting anymore, and as you sort of like lower down to demonstrate that you have no way to take off your shoe, it clasps at the shoe itself.
Oh. Thank you, Jeff. And then just take my shoe off, and it's the right shoe.
Good. Now, you've traveled with us for one full day now. Congratulations on resting that long. See, you might have noticed that we're all a tight-knit bunch here. And we all follow the same religion, of course. I'll teach you another lesson right now, because I like you much more like this than you were before.
Oh, thank you. You know, you're not as bad.
The religion that we follow, the void, in order for it to converse with us, in order for it to exist, it needs the living as much as we need the dead. And for that, it needs sacrifice. Only this way will we keep pleasing the void, by sending our regards to it. And in turn, it will speak to us and give us the truth.
Oh.
So,
Makes sense. Not really sure.
every new day,
Yes.
we sacrifice to the void.
Oh.
And you're now traveling with us. She gets out the butcher's knife. Which toe, Bugum?
Sorry?
Which toe?
The prince sort of swivels about and sacrificing to the void. Marvelous. Yes, Buggum. Normally we do this with passers-by, vagrants, trespassers on the property, that sort of thing. But seeing as you're new, you'll have to do.
Oh. So we're...
You're talking too much, Buggum. Which toe?
Can I have a moment to decide?
I'll choose for you, Buggum.
No, there's no need, really. I can decide. It's just, well, I would really prefer to, the little one? I think I need that one the least.
I cut off the big one. So
right.
my butcher's knife goes down and chops into the big toe on Buggum's feet. I don't know if I have experience with undead like bleeding or anything. I would kind of think Svind would know what to expect. So I'm curious to see if it's what she expects or something else.
It often depends. In this instance, go ahead and give me. I would say give me an agility test.
Honestly, I feel like the more pressing concern here will be if you don't do very well, it's very likely you cut off more than one toe.
This agility test doesn't matter to me.
Oh, suddenly you roll badly? What the hell? 8.
All the more sacrifice for the void, right?
Yeah. This little piggy went to the void.
The clean is far from cut. The cut is far from clean. Buggum, you were going to take 1 point of damage. But good news, you find that your health had been fully restored.
Oh, nice.
Had been fully restored.
For a time, it was nice. Both moments that it lasted.
Yes.
Oh, but with something I'll do, I'll put in something that's like my medicine thing, which you can like then heal the one if that's okay. Because I would, as a player, I would feel very shitty if I took away one of your health again.
No. I'm back up. I'm back up to full. You know, like it does.
We need you as a full flesh shield.
I am upset that it took me dying and coming back as a zombie for Svind to finally be like, you know what? I like him now enough to actually heal him. Wait, can you heal a zombie?
It's an interesting question.
Okay. So,
we'll find out, I guess.
Also, on the 8, like, is it just my big toe? I like my toes. Did I lose more than one?
It's just the big toe.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Very, very aggressively chopped it.
Yes, like one chop, and just... I feel like that should have hurt.
Nothing.
You were aware that you were struck. You could feel the blow, but not in a way that would... You didn't feel that sort of hanging sensation of alarm and pain and discomfort. More as if you had stubbed it gently yourself.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a sort of like odd numbness that you're becoming aware of, like you are somehow far away from your own body.
Another thing you'll learn is that the way you are right now, between us and the void, you won't feel pain the way you did, which is good for us, isn't it? Very good. She reaches into her robes and takes out a hand, and the hand looks entirely like ashen. If it doesn't smear the way ash would, but it does look to be like a lot of burned herbs. And maybe you don't want to look too close to it because it looks kind of nasty, and there's looks to be blood on it as well.
Oh.
She rubs this like in her palm a few times, spits in it, and then like puts it over the foot where she chopped off the toe. Before she picks up the toe that she chopped off.
I was slightly hoping I could hold on to that.
She leans in closer
No.
and taps with her finger on your forehead like that. What about a sacrifice, don't you understand?
Honestly, I was assuming that taking the toe off was the sacrifice. I'm now leaning more towards that not being.
No, we're not as barbaric to just hurt and take that as a sacrifice. The void needs to eat, after all. It won't eat on your pain. Silly. Now. She leans back with the finger, and it disappears in her robes. She looks at the prince. She says, "My lord, shall we gather the others to go find the treasure?"
Yes, a splendid idea, really. It must be somewhere. Wasn't where we checked, but surely it must be nearby. I can practically smell it.
Indeed, and your senses are all we trust.
By this point, I feel like Sponge has come to the door, seen that there was some kind of ritual, like really eager to come in and say, "Oh my God, there was a chiming something in the garden." Come to the door, seen that stuff is important's going on, and then be like, "Oh no, don't say anything," and then suddenly, immediately, have forgotten what he was about to say. But as soon as the prince goes, "I can almost smell it," he's just like.
The heaping mounds of money, gems, silver, gold, maybe even. Yes, it must be nearby. Ah, Sponge, you've returned.
Yes, my lord. Yeah, just sorting out some peasant stuff.
You're sopping wet. Dry yourself off. And he just throws a heap of scrolls at you.
Hilariously, I take the heap of scrolls, look at them confused, shake like a dog, and then pat myself down.
Marvelous.
Yes, my lord. Straight away, my lord. Yes.
And where is Groton?
Oh, it's doing... Oh, there he is.
I'm here, yes. I did not want to disturb their commotion.
Yes, Finn was just doing sacrifice to the void, the usual sort of thing.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stare at Bug'em at this point. What? Was he not dead last I checked?
Yes.
Apparently not, but you are our apothecary. Perhaps you should check him.
I should. I'll walk over into and check you over. I'm trying to think if there's like a roll to check his condition, but I feel like it's fairly obvious that he's just like he has no arms and his toes missing.
That's
no
obvious,
arms,
yeah.
No toes. At a moment's checkup, no pulse. He feels sort of colder and clammier to the touch. He does emanate a slight warmth, but it's much lower than most people tend to give off.
Well, it's a miracle you're alive at all. What, I'm not even sure what I could give you. How are you feeling?
A little uncomfortable, but that may just have been the manner in which I woke up. I have my hand on the other stump of my other arm. Not ideal, but it can grasp things.
Oh, Jeff. Yeah.
Yes, much like Bug'em, we've now found a purpose for Jeff as well.
Oh, he's very intelligent, very smart, my lord.
Thank you. It is.
I don't suppose you could do what you did last time and stitch Jeff onto my left hand. At the very least, he'll be facing the right way.
Unfortunately, all my my threading ran out last time. However, I do see the door opener only having one hand quite problematic. I would like to look around the room for like anything, like almost like a table leg would be good, but just anything that might be in the room that's just yay long or something. Just what do you say? Something erect.
There is the sort of ornate wooden display table sat in front of the trap chair.
Yeah, we have the body of the guy in the other room still. You could totally take one of his hands or arms.
You are correct.
Yeah, since you had left the library, the door to the secret room had sort of already automatically slid closed on some sort of timer, it seems. But you're aware of where the secret book lever is. You could easily open it again to retrieve the hands or whatever parts necessary from now dead Yogson.
Yes, yeah. No, I do want to do that. I'm also very curious what is down there now. I'm gonna find the book.
Groton, that may not be the best of
Silence.
Now, if you wish to have another hand, there's only one place where you may find it, Bugum.
I feel...
You don't want a hand?
I would love another hand, preferably on the right side of my... But...
Groton, please go get it. We're wasting time for our friends.
Apologies, my lord.
Well,
And we wouldn't, and she turns to Bugum, and we wouldn't want to waste time, no, would we? That would make us very unnecessary.
I really think
waste words.
this is a bad idea.
Either you want a hand or you don't, Bugum.
I mean, I could probably get by with just the one hand. Jeff is
I
very...
imagine Groton is already going to get it.
Yeah, like,
I
right?
definitely
Yeah.
pulled it, yeah.
Yeah, you Groton just sort of, you know where it is, you give it a pull, it does the satisfying clink, kind of mechanical clicking clacking sound as the chunk of the wall sort of opens up and creaks on its railed track pathway, and in the darkness of the room you can hear something in the shadows heaving, sort of.
Hello?
He's
And it's at
undead,
that moment-
Groton.
It's at that moment that the thing that was once Yogson comes hurling out from the darkness, and in a moment you all see this thing as it lunges for Groton, somewhat resembling the visage of the old man that you saw in the cupboard under the stairs before. However, something has happened to him, to it, and now its face has sort of sunken down into its shoulders. Its rib cage has been exposed to form this gnashing maw of bone-like teeth that start to make to rip into Groton's flesh like a giant mouth.
Oh shit!
And Groton, I am going to need you to make an agility test to defend yourself.
I will
Agility
say.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, just agility defense, yeah?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
I will say, I'm sorry I put you in this situation. I only when the door opened realized, oh hey, he's gonna be undead as well.
Well, it's
I
not just
did not even
undead,
realize.
unfortunately. Well, you know, it's fine. Yeah.
He's not undead. He's fun dead.
In the enemy damage, it says 1d6. Should I just keep? I can't remember what we did last time.
Oh, so first we have to find out if you successfully evade the attack from whatever this thing is.
Well, when I click agility defense, it just comes input value, enemy damage, and then it says 1d6. So I can't just roll without
Very
typing that
clunky and
in.
strange. Go ahead and just give me a d20 roll and modify it using your agility.
Yes.
Oh, I rolled my defense.
There's the, and you said minus my defense. No.
With your
modified by your agility.
yeah.
Oh, that's 0. So yeah, okay, 16.
Okay. Yeah, you definitely sort of step back out of the way of this thing as it lunges towards you. And you see that it still has no legs. You recognize like the spot where Sponge sort of snapped them cleanly in half. And this thing is sort of like crawling, hobbling on strange, like stalk-like appendages that have been almost look like its arms and legs fused together as it sort of like hobbles towards you with this great rib-like mouth. But it sort of lunges and falls as you deftly step back in shock, and the thing sort of splats and flails to the ground. It will elect for Grothin to go next.
Yeah, so I'm down there. They're not even down there. They have no idea.
It's attached to the
came
same
out.
room. There's no
Yeah.
stairwell.
Okay. Then yeah, okay. And I'm gonna let Sponge solve the situation.
Run.
All right. Yeah. Just sort of a quick, like, knowing glance to Sponge, like, well, I'm in danger.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Do your job.
Grab me stuff. Let's go. Come on. I feel like every single time Sponge is in a situation like this, he approaches it like he's going into a field full of horses he owns. He's just like, come on, let's go. Here we go. Come on now.
Come by.
Definitely him.
Yeah. Hold on a second. And I'll smash it with my flail. I literally, as I see this all happening, I'll grab my flail and just put my hands into the socket of my shield and be like, oh, okay, right, here we go. Step back. Yep.
Go ahead and give me a melee attack roll using your strength.
Attack 14, damage 7.
Ooh.
Go ahead and roll for damage.
It's
7. Does it automatically, it seems, so.
They're automatically on the thing.
Marvelous. 7 damage?
7? Yeah.
Yeah, with the one clean motion, arm in shield, flail at ready, and you sort of take one quick step lunge forward and bring in a clean arc, the flail down, the chain sort of swinging in a graceful motion through the air and then splatting with great force and effect into the center mass of this thing, sending bits of what this former Yogson is or was smattering across the library in just a spew of gore and violence. The thing sort of twitches for a moment and then settles.
Oh. It's already dead. It wasn't a word.
My God. It's glad I didn't come back like that. Wasn't aware that was the type of thing that could happen around here. Anyway, we should go.
Right, Sponge, would you please pick up both arms of the man you just killed? They're over there in that corner and the other one.
Oh, yeah. They seem to be like merged with the leg bits. Does that matter?
No.
Okay, no worries. And I feel like he puts his flail away and then just grabs it, puts his foot on whatever joint it's connected to, and just pulls it.
Like a wishbone.
Yeah, you managed to actually go ahead and give me a strength test.
6. Not great.
Oh, God.
You do manage to sort of like pry it loose, but it gives and there's a lot of like resistance to it. It's fairly sturdy, and you sort of rip and tear the whole thing into a tattered shred. There are some recognizable finger bones and things mixed into the goopy, glued together mess of it all, but it hardly resembles a hand.
I got it. I think.
Honestly, it didn't look that salvageable to begin with, really.
Great sponge. You can hand it to Buggum.
Okay. Here you go.
I have nothing.
Become a sacrifice day.
And then I lean in and whisper,
See? You're already a bit promoted.
Thank you, Sponge. But I don't have really. I have a. I mean, and I like push the hand forward towards the offering. I don't even.
I lean in real close and I'm just like,
Yeah, well, this is the best present anyone I've ever seen has ever got from Svint. All I got was a bit of a stab in the gut. Look,
Yeah. No. Yes. I see.
she says it spells my name.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, I couldn't read though, so I don't know.
Well, I should probably take the little strands of flesh that you've brought to me, Sponge.
This one's a finger. There you go.
It's hard to tell,
Yeah,
but I'll take your word for it.
The hand attached to your arm as you sort of reach out instinctively grabs it, not unlike a chameleon being handed a little stick.
Yeah.
And you now hold something that resembles, I don't know, a hunk of mutton left out in the desert for a day.
Right.
Just sort of a desiccated, weird, almost unrecognizable lump of just flesh and meat and bone. But it does have a vague sort of hand-ish shape to it now.
Yeah. Well, that's lovely. Thank you all for this wonderful present.
Yes, never forget it. Now you owe us.
Oh, good.
And we should be carrying on then. Doorman, if you're ready, resume your duties.
Yes, my lord. I shall get to the door. And I walk over to the door, and I vaguely push Jeff against the door.
Yeah, it takes a little timing, but Jeff instinctively grabs the doorknob, and you're able to open.
There we go.
And then with a little wriggling, you sort of manage to coax it into letting go.
As we walk after Buggum, Svind passes by Sponge, who, like, fillet in hand, made mush out of the poor old man. And she leans in very close and puts, like, a hand, like eerily, like, on the cheek, you know? Like very soft, but I'm assuming that Sven is the kind of person where when she does like something that seems soft, there's always this like idea of like, oh, I'm assuming she's taking my face to like put her nails in it and like do something like that.
Yeah.
So she goes to Sponge and like puts her hand there and says like,
You're doing so well.
here. She takes out the toe from somewhere in her robes and presses it against him.
You should appreciate this.
Oh, for me? That's thank you very much.
And she just walks.
I feel like Sponge, as you put, like Sven puts their hand on Sponge's cheek, he sort of shudders out of instinct and then realizes what's going on and goes, "Oh, hello, you all right?" And he's like, oh yeah, no, this is nice, this is good, it's all right, it's Mummy's Swind. And then like takes the toe, and it's kind of like a child with a hamster is just sort of like, oh wow, I was given the sacrifice thing. Oh, this is really nice, that's great, that's all right. And I put it in, like, I've got a bag of old wizard's teeth that I am assuming I probably took from a wizard at some stage, or somebody I assumed was a wizard at some stage, and I put it in there. And I'm like, oh yeah, no, this is very important stuff.
To be sure, it is, and make of this sentiment whatever you will. It is arguably the most gorgeous and cleanest toe you have ever seen.
You're welcome. Also, I have a feeling like the wizard was just a street performer doing card tricks, and you're like, a wizard!
Don't you do your dirty magics around me.
He's trying to soul seal you, my lord.
Exactly.
Cast his hexes.
Exactly what happened.
Oh, God.
Don't trust him, my lord. He's trying to bewicky you or something.
Marvelous. Yes, one way or another, the bag of teeth, there it is. And now the toe is among the collection, fitting snugly into the small pouch, a cozy fit.
I was about to say, if these are actually magic teeth, we're all screwed. Like this.
I was going to say, you bury them and they just grow mimes.
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain they do have an actual in-game effect.
Oh, God.
That's amazing. Don't tell me what it is. I'm just gonna
Fair enough.
absolutely wing it, because Sponge has got no idea, so this can only go well. Like
Marvelous. I love it. Excellent. You have them. They do something that you don't know. Perfect.
Amazing. I took them from a wizard at some stage in the past, and who knows?
Marvelous. Yeah, everyone saunters out into the hall. And the prince sort of stands there astutely. Right. Treasure, then. It must be somewhere.
Yeah. What about one of the other rooms that Bergen found? Preferably one without a carpet.
Yes, no more of that nasty business. Well, Buggum, to one of the other rooms then.
Oh, yes. Well, then I will lead the way.
Good. Carry on.
Okay. Right. Of course. This way, obviously, back up the stairs. I guess we came down at some point.
The prince will sort of lean to just everyone else, and in that casual tone that he knows everyone can hear, will sort of remark, I say, the were-rug seems to have really dampened his capabilities.
No, it didn't.
Oh.
Oh, was he this way before?
Yes, my lord.
I see. Well, we shall have to do some manner of training then. But a task for another time, he'll have to do for now. Yes, very good, doorman. Carry on. We shall follow. Yeah, so was it up the stairs you were leading, or back down the hall?
Up the stairs, yeah.
All right. Yeah, you ascend up the stairs, and there is the same skeleton as before, sort of having resumed nodding off, is now asleep once again at its post. And then you can also see on the far side of the upper floor, there appears to be another door over yonder.
Yes, it is, On
And there are also, of course, the stairs leading down to the entry hall.
yeah.
Also noted at this level, that great statue that was in the entry hall is visible, and sort of its upper half is kind of like leaning up above the banister a ways, almost at level with like the chandeliers dangling from the ceiling.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to go over past the stairs going down past the statue, and over to the other door all the way on the other side. And I'm going to try and get Jeff in a grippable mood.
Marvelous. Yeah, walking past the skeleton, just sort of casually this time around as well. It sort of jolts awake and reaches for its sword, sees it's you, looks at you for a moment, and kind of nods, sheathes its sword again, and goes back to nodding off.
I
Okay.
lean into Buggerman and just be like, "See, you're making friends all the time."
Very different from last time, that's true.
It's because you got mogul, the mognative personality. That one. When people know your real thing.
Oh. Yes, of course. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I knew you would.
Yeah.
I grab him round the shoulder.
Oh, no, there's no need for that. My head may come off.
Oh dear. Oh no, that's not good. Well, if he does, we'll make it a sacrifice. That's another bit of you promoted.
I would... really, I mean, I'm gonna go and open the door.
The prince trailing behind sort of places a warm but firm hand on Sponge's shoulder, and leans and says, "Sponge, my boy, what have we said about using long, noble people words? It's bad for your muscles. It'll make you weak. It'll drain you of your constitution."
Oh, that's right, my lord. Yeah, no, that's very true. I'm sorry, my lord. I was just trying to impress you.
It's all right. Shh, shh, shh. And he'll sort of like give you a distanced hug. Like, it's all right, Sponge.
Oh no,
Perfectly.
that isn't the prince a person who would order someone else to give a distant hug?
Sven, give Sponge a hug for me.
No, I think the prince has a sort of like doting attitude from time to time, but it's a very sort of like cruel doting with Sponge.
I feel like Sponge pulls out, like delves into his loins. Probably he don't have any pockets in this thing, so he's just pulling out something from his like loincloth or what have you, and it's like a really old, crusty, holy, nasty looking handkerchief that at one stage the prince threw on the floor, and Sponge picked it up looking lovingly and is just like dabbing his eyes. Yes, my lord. Yeah.
Right.
You're so kind.
Well, that is very correct. But we must be moving on, Sponge.
Yes, my lord.
Eyes on the prize, as it were.
Yes, my lord.
Now, doorman, about the door. And you grasp Jeff to the handle of this sort of like rich oaken door. And it is unlocked.
I will pull or push it.
Yeah, you pull it open, and you can hear immediately the sound of rain and thunder and the outdoor elements, and feel sort of a cold gust come through as you reveal this dark hall passage. Directly in front of you, you can see that part of the manor of this wing has collapsed in on itself, and just the outside air is exposed. And to the left, entering in, you can see a set of rich, grand double doors, currently closed.
This is where the breeze came from.
I mean, I'm standing there with the door open. The job's done. Someone else can. I'm just going to.
Sponge being Sponge, and especially after having a conversation with the prince, will walk straight through the door, look up like, oh, this is where the breeze came from. The draft, bloody drafty around here, and then stand in front of the other doors expectantly. Like he goes to open them, then remembers it's not his job to, so steps back and just goes, all right.
Oh.
Marvelous. Yeah, you step over sort of like cracked beams, bits of wood, debris from the caved roof, stand before the double doors and realize that's not your job anymore. And everyone looks expectantly to Buckham.
Right. And just kind of like squeeze past, try not to look at Spin. Stepping over the bits of rubble, squeeze past Sponge, who is very, very difficult to squeeze past, to the door. Hand on door, wait for it to grasp, pull door open, move back with door.
Yeah, you're starting to get a good rhythm with Jeff.
Oh, yeah, it's, work with the tools you got, even if it's your own hand.
Yeah, you really memorized the Jeff QuickTime event.
Yeah.
And this door, sort of slightly warped from the rain and elements, gives a mighty creaking groan as it sort of pulls open and gives way to reveal another sort of dark, unilluminated, ruinous room. This great chamber clearly at one point was some sort of dual bed chamber. You can see the remains of what appear to be two great sort of masterfully made bed frames, now sort of like battered, tarnished, and ruined, sort of scattered in either far corner. And filling the center of the room are all manner of devious, nefarious torture devices, the most notable of which is a great pain wheel in the center of the room, upon which is strapped a person.
Okay.
I immediately look over towards Groton and Svind, and I'm like,
You two didn't say you'd been here before.
Is this person making any noise or moving?
Listening carefully and sort of eyeing them, you can see slight bits of movement, and just over the rain, you can detect faint mumbling coming from them. But yeah, they're sort of prostrated up on this like gigantic vertical wheel.
I quickly look at Gruden with a question in my eyes. Maybe he does the exact same of, wait, did you do this? Like, is this your doing?
Is he all doing?
Like quickly giving a sideways look and then noticing that's not his doing. Looking back at Sponge being like,
No, Sponge, this is not from us.
Oh, right, okay. No, this all looks very much like your kind of hobbies.
We would not dare to insult a prince like that as to take our business outside of his safekeeping.
Oh no, that's very true. That is very, very true. No, you are much, much more on that.
It would be wise not to suggest it again.
Oh no. Lips are stapled.
when everyone is quiet for a second, I'm gonna try to listen to the mumbling that this person is doing.
Sure. Give me a presence test. Are you still sort of like standing in the door frame, or are you like entering the room at all?
No, I'm assuming like Bugum at least took a step inside, right? When opening the door?
Yeah.
Just to know
it's
that
a very wide set of double doors, so there's plenty of room for everyone.
yeah, I just making sure that the area I'm going in is one that Bugum has already stepped in to make sure that there are no traps. I take
okay.
I take a step inside the room and try to listen.
Yeah, so you prod bug him forward a few steps. Nothing happens.
Oh god, a 4.
Yeah, over the sound of like the rain and the thunder from just the outside sort of pouring into this corner of the manor, it is very difficult to make out anything that they are saying, but this figure is certainly just sort of in a continual quiet muttering going on and on about something. But you can't quite make out any of the words distinctly.
And to be clear for the rest, this looks like a kind of bedroom / torture chamber. Are there any other doors?
You see no other doors in this room.
Okay. And no portraits on the wall or paintings on the wall that can be like hiding something behind them.
Go ahead and give me another presence test to sort of investigate the room proper. Kind of like take a
It's a
look around.
15.
Sure. So yeah, sort of stepping around a little bit, maybe with some source of like illumination. You see that everything that once made this probably a very lavish and well-furnished bedroom has been left to rot and ruin, and was clearly sort of pushed out to the sides of the room to make room and space for these, again, like numerous different torture devices that now take up the centrality of all the space. You don't really find anything of distinct, like, notable merit that survived outside of just like the metal bed frame things that have now just been sort of like left to decay in the corners. It seems like all manner of like homely things in this space have been discarded, whereas the torture devices seem to be in fairly good operation, in good use. They seem, from your knowledge of these sorts of things, fairly, well-oiled, well-maintained. Whoever keeps this collection certainly knows a thing or two about torture.
Burton, why don't you check if the person on there is still alive?
Of course. Yeah, I'll slowly approach as they're mumbling and try to get close enough to hear what it is they're trying to say, first of all.
Yeah, as you approach, you see that this person, sort of again prostrated up on this giant wheel, is covered in huge nailed spikes attaching them to the wheel, and their skin from head to toe all over has been completely charred and blistered, save for like one eye sort of darting around the room. And you can see very obviously that they are trying to look anywhere but your direction. The small mobility they have in their face has been like darting around, not meeting your gaze. And they seem to mumble just utter nonsense. You get close enough to hear some of the ramblings, and it's to the likes of, mustn't tell the walls, listening, eating away at the thoughts, the secrets of the mind. They're going to come again soon another. And then it begins anew, again, around, within, outside, inside, to and from, darkness and shadow, swallowing all a hunger that never feeds, never gives, only sings the song.
Oh, they sound like me.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna say. Oh, they're from Spin's hometown. Oh, of course. Oh, it all makes sense.
I want to try to make contact with this, bro. Like, yeah, just hey.
Their eye sort of darts at you for just a moment, and then they resume trying to pretend you're not there. No, mustn't. No one. Empty. Shadows. Darkness.
What crime have you committed to be sent here?
Crime? None. Why? What of you? And for a moment, they meet your gaze a little longer this time. And they sort of take you in for a split second, size you up, look you up and down, and not them. Not one of them. Please, please. And they start like convulsing a little bit. Please, you must help. You must be helping. You must relieve me of this device. You must free me.
Groton, what's he saying?
He wishes to be released from his Pain Wheel 2000.
Ah. That doesn't seem like a very good idea. I hope you're not thinking about doing it.
Well, I'm not sure what's in it for us. And I look upon him as I say it.
In it, out of it, around it, through it. Yes. Anything. Anything. Please. You must help.
I'm gonna go back to the group just a few steps back.
Yeah, sure.
Huddle up. He says anything.
Yeah.
I don't really know what that means.
My lord, I don't wish to take any actions without your blessing, but I'm not sure if we should release this individual, especially not within our own home.
Yes, they do seem a bit odd, don't they?
Is he like one of them skeleton people? Or is he like us? Well, everyone but Buggum.
Okay. That's unnecessary, but thank you.
They seem quite alive. My lord, if we free this person, we will highly trample on the hospitality of the lord of the manor.
You may have a point there, Svind. If someone were to go to our dungeons and free one of our prisoners, I would find that quite an affront.
Point of order, but isn't stealing things from the mansion sort of, doing the same thing anyway?
What are you on about? We're not stealing.
No? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I must
The
have...
treasure already belongs to the prince.
Oh! I was not aware of that.
Well, do you see? This is the reason why you've got to pay attention. All
Right.
treasure belongs to the prince.
Oh, of course. Foolish of me, really, to think that it wouldn't...
You know, it's amazing how many people don't know that already. I have hit many people because they did not know all of the treasure already belongs to you, my lord.
Yes, it's quite true. But we'll forgive the ignorance this once, Bugger.
Oh, all right, no worries. And as he does that, he sort of like didn't realise, but his fist was coming up.
Slowly.
All right, yes, of course, my lord.
Gloton, how did his hands look? Were they good hands?
They look better than yours, yes.
Well, that's not very difficult to... okay. Do you feel like maybe, we could maybe take one, possibly? Would he miss it?
I mean, if it would make your job faster, we have been moving
It would
through
make
this
my
battle
job
at a horrible pace.
so much faster.
Oh. My lord, would it be fine to just borrow a hand from this gentleman to make sure we can move through the castle a bit faster?
Yes, I suppose, but borrow is the key word here. Bugger, if you promise to put it back after.
Yes. Yes, I promise.
Very good, then.
Oh.
See to it, Croton.
Well, I would suggest, Svind, do you feel inclined?
To give a hand to Buggum.
No, it's really not. I think I could probably do it myself. Really, if I think All I need is an implement to cut, and I should be fine.
So much air wasted.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was about to say, as he says an implement to cut, I start looking at torture devices and just being like, is there anything? A knife, a blade, an axe, some kind of pokey stick? I'm just looking for things that might do the job of cutting, just out of habit. He's mentioned a weapon. I am looking for weapon.
You can go ahead and give me a presence test.
God.
Ooh,
16.
16. You spy some bits and pieces of implements that you could probably remove. Things like miniature guillotines intended for like particular digits or limbs. Various like protruding spikes could possibly be removed. There are all sorts of like harmful bits and pieces that could be harvested from these various machines, but they would have to be sort of ransacked off of them.
I'd probably start taking one apart.
rip.
Just out of hand, just be like, oh, right, well, you said you needed something to cut with. And then, but I will say, as soon as I realize I'm making too much noise and disturbing Svind, I immediately stop and slow it down real. Just like like trying to creep around. Oh. Because I don't want to disturb Svind when Svind's talking.
Oh, wait. I have a saw. Sponge, could you, over here?
Oh.
I can't really complicate it. It's in my bag.
Hugum can have the hand, but only if he gets it himself, without any help.
Oh,
Seems fair.
can someone help me get the saw?
Without any help.
Seems to be a needless hurdle, really, in considering the grand scheme of things.
Chop, chop.
See what you
That's a great, good one.
The prince chimes in a little like too late after the initial joke, and or saw, if you will.
And I absolutely take a moment going, what do you mean, saw?
Or bite.
Then roll around on the floor with the fakest laugh.
The prince stands triumphantly. Yeah.
The vague wind from the hole in the wall just like
To be fair,
whipping his
I probably
cloak.
roll around on the floor that much out of laughter, I almost fall down the hole. Like that is the level. Yeah.
Right off the second story into the front lawn.
So I would like to delve into my bag and retrieve the saw.
Sure, go ahead and give me an agility test.
Oh, this shouldn't be this difficult.
There we go.
I rolled 4.
The task is nigh impossible.
Mhm.
Jeff cloys and clasps at everything, but trying to get Jeff to undo the various straps, buckles, belts that are needed to get into the pack, let alone rummage the various items, is a task that if you had the luck of all the gods in the universe would take you a week to accomplish.
All right, right. Fuck this. I'm going to walk over to where he's strapped with his hands. And as I'm walking past him, I'm like, "Hello, don't mind me." So, GM. I am unsure exactly of the meat and potatoes of how this works, and I think I do still want to try and convince everyone to leave, but I have a thing I'd like to do. I've done it before. I essentially want to take his hands and I want to put them on my arms. Via, you know what.
Right. The room, I would say, is like it's very dark. There's no illumination in here. There are no windows.
Ah, crap.
I would say that it would not be terribly difficult to discreetly try to sneak in a bit of flesh craftery.
Okay. Oh, before that, I'll like kind of loom over this person and look up and say, "Oh, can't really do this while you're watching me. Could you all turn around, leave? It's like making the water. It's kind of a private thing.
You can make water.
Yes.
No wonder you're so bloody clean.
Right. Well, every day's a shower.
What's the
You're
shower?
wasting time.
So
If it speeds it up, I don't see why not. But do be quick about it, won't you?
very quick, and I will be opening doors left, right, and left and right. Just need a moment.
Very well.
See, this is why I like Groton.
The moment
Yeah.
that I
He just doesn't care.
The moment that I turn around, I instantly get bored and start picking up pebbles and throwing them out of the massive hole in the wall.
Out of the hole in the wall, you can see the front yard where you initially entered the Manor estate. You can vaguely see during the flashes of lightning the great boar rider sort of still like rooting about, sniffing in the yard.
I am totally
you've
trying
even-
to throw stones at him. I am totally. There's not even a shadow of a doubt. I am throwing stones at the Great Knight.
Yeah.
I want to hit that ding.
Give me. Oh, what is ranged attacking? One moment. Give me a presence test.
Oh, amazing.
I would love if this works. And
Zero. Botch it. Absolutely botch it.
oh,
I hit the wall and it comes straight back and hits me in the eye. Like, full on. Absolutely.
zero. You hit the
lining
prince.
it up, and just as I throw it, lightning strikes. I freak out. It hits the wall, cracks straight in my eye. Oh, fuck. Oh, jeez. Oh, fucking hell. Literally a zero. I could not have made that any worse.
Oh goodness. You you hear a bit of like chortling from down below as you can see like other guests of his lordship are sort of like being escorted to the front door, and one of them manages to spy this, and you see one of them in sort of like full masquerade attire point up to you and sort of like cackle. A delight for all. Meanwhile, back in the shadowy room.
Yes. I'm kind of assuming that Svind isn't going to turn around at this point. Like, most of them have. It's fine.
yeah, no, indeed, you're very right to assume that.
I had a feeling.
She's staring at you the way she stared at you in the library.
Yeah. It's like if anyone is going to see this, then may as well be her. And I am going to essentially try and remove both of the hands if I can. The important one would be the left, so I can like graft it to the stump, because that was a pretty clean cut.
Go ahead and make me a presence test.
Alrighty. I can't see this going well. And I'm right, I rolled a 3.
You sort of reach out, your memory is restored. You remember that you are a practiced and powerful flesh crafter. This should be hardly any effort at all. You reach your stump forward and make contact with this individual, and they sort of like reel at the touch for a moment, still muttering and avoiding your gaze whenever possible. And you summon forth your flesh crafting abilities and powers, but feel nothing. You feel sort of like a great hollowness where all that ability and skill once was, it's just missing.
Right? Is it possible it's because he's still alive?
Normally, being alive helps.
Oh. Shit. Right. Very embarrassing. Doesn't usually happen to me.
At this point, the figure, sort of like still only occasionally looking in your direction, sort of whispers, "Please, must help. Need to escape. Can't be here. Must free me. Free me, please."
Yes. Well, I'm working on the exact same problem, and you are not being very helpful right now. So if you could please just be a little bit more compliant, then this should hopefully go smoothly.
Yes, helping, heaving, leaving, squeezing.
Okay. Could I give it another run, or is this just a non-starter for me at this point?
I'd allow like one more attempt. Really,
Right.
a dig deep moment.
I'll go like this is gonna end badly, and honestly, if I roll badly, feel free to like make this go very weird. I'm going to use my right arm this time, the one that has Jeff impaled upon the bone, and I'm going to like kind of slide that over there and over to the hand, and just start kind of see how this goes, and see if I can basically fleshcraft his right hand onto my right hand, even though Jeff is also there.
Yeah, go ahead and give it another presence roll.
Okay. It could only go well. Oh, a 19. There we go. That's a good roll.
19. You sort of like in your understanding of like sorceries and magical powers and that sort of the like, you know that there is something very disconnected. Being in this state that you're in is making it extraordinarily difficult to tap into your flesh crafting powers. This like undead state of being creates such like an immense barrier, but you manage to push through, and go ahead and give me. Actually, hang on.
Oh no.
Okay. You manage digging deep, really pushing. You manage to summon some modicum, just a sliver of the immense power that you once wielded, and you feel it coursing through you, but for a moment, through Jeff, into this strange, blistered, crispy figure. And with all your might and all your prowess, you fuse Jeff to them. And their hands sort of like clasp together. And now the eye that was on the back of Jeff also begins sort of darting around the room. And the person on the pain wheel sort of shrieks, "Oh! What have you done? What is this? Help! Help!"
Well, I've given you another hand, apparently. Congratulations, you have 3. And an eye. So... Shit.
Seeing, revealing, knowing, looking. Too much looking. What is happening? This is not freeing.
Oh, dude, shut up. We all have our problems, okay? And you are not helping mine right now. Well, now I've lost my hand. I can't open doors again. This is just the worst day ever.
Great performance, Bugum.
But what do you do?
She turns around, looks at Sponge, and looks at him covering his eye.
What did you do, Sponge?
Nothing.
Right. Go ahead and please cut off the hand that's now attached to this person on the wheel, so that
Okay,
we can
yeah.
take Jeff because Jeff is your property.
Oh, that's right. How dare you? He immediately turns around and goes, what do you mean, Jeff? How dare you? And points at the guy on the wheel. How dare you take Jeff? What did you do to him?
He stole
at
our
this
Jeff.
point, yeah, sensing the sort of like oncoming hostility, the figure is sort of like shrieking, and it can't really move, but it is trying desperately to sort of wriggle as far away, all both inches, away from you, like a squirming worm on a hook. Sort of,
You
no,
don't deserve Jeff.
haven't.
You don't deserve Jeff. Bug'em, where's that saw?
It's in my bag, right here.
All right. And I realized that you just described Bug'em's bag like he's got loads of belts and straps and all stuff on it, and I just open it. No belts, no straps, no buckling, just. All right, yeah, that's all right.
Oh no, well, no, my mother gave me that, but okay.
I brutally cut into his arm at like just below the elbow joint because I don't want to hurt Jeff.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that Jeff's perfectly okay. So I brutally just absolutely every single time he whimpers or what have you, I tap him on the head like a naughty cat. No.
He does much more than whimper. He screams, he shrieks, he howls. But by the time you get about halfway through the bone, that stops pretty quickly as he just passes out. And blood begins spurting everywhere.
Hold on. And I light the torch. And so I go light my torch again, and once it's get going, I just go and just like sear the wound. Because I've got no medicinal problem, but I remember from the army days that you can burn a wound shut. So I just sear it shut, done and dusted, keep sawing.
Sponge.
Yeah.
It might have been a good idea to ask Groten if he has any anything. You know what? You're basically halfway through. Yeah, no, it's fine. Keep going.
At this point, I rip out the saw and just flick. Like point.
Yeah, like as you refer, just like.
I don't tell you how to do your job. All right.
Right.
And within moments,
and seared the wound shut, I really like a gingerly ill kitten take it over to Groton. I'm like, can you save Jeff?
Aye, there isn't much time. So just so I understand, so there's like a backwards hand thing, like it's.
I think it's like
a hand and a hand.
One over the top of the other, like palm to back of the hand.
Like so, I guess.
I think it's about like palm to palm. It would be like about like this.
I was thinking like that.
I think if you're prostrated out on a pain wheel, you're probably palms up. I guess you could be extra devious and do palms down. But it's sort of like hand clasping hand and then an eyeball. Still sort of like looking around now.
And so what's left of is the bone stub still in Bug'em toes, like pointing out? What's left there? Because that's the hand that Jeff was on, correct?
That's the one that was chopped. So that was a clean cut hand.
Okay.
So there's no real like bone jutting out. It's just kind of like a.
Yeah, Bug'em has nub and shish kebab skewer.
Yeah, and the Jeff hand is the nub.
Okay. Well, then because I'm so damn good, I'm just gonna use rope. That's pretty much all I have at my disposal. And just kind of tie it like they meet, so it's not a line. It'll just be like under and that way, the rest of the arm. Just best I can do here.
It is attached.
Here you are.
Do I have a hand?
You have as much of a hand as you did when you entered the room. It's just clunkier now.
Okay.
I look at Buggerman, I'm like, don't lose Jeff again.
Point of order. Didn't lose him. Was stolen by that horrible, horrible thief.
You what?
Was stolen by the horrible, horrible thief.
You stole.
Yeah, the man on the wheel stole it. Stole it from me. Sven can tell you. I'm telling the truth.
Look,
Yes.
it's quite a thing to see someone put the blame on someone else for their own incompetence.
Yes, that is true, isn't it? There are multiple instances of that.
Shall we leave it at this and finally go get the treasure? We've wasted enough time here.
I think that would be a wonderful idea. There are many doors to open, lots to do, hands to find.
Yes, it's a marvelous room to be sure, but it's certainly no trove of treasure.
As the prince talks, I'm going to turn to him, realize he's still wearing the mask as like a hat or what have you, and be like, oh, my lord, I completely forgot. All the guests are arriving.
The what?
The guests for the grand ball that is obviously in your honor.
How is it now? Splendid. Marvelous.
Yeah, I saw them all on the way down with the man that rides his dinner. So they must be arriving for you, sir. They did half laugh at me. I won't kill them because they must be your friends.
Wasn't aware I was hosting an event, but
Oh no, this isn't your house. So they must be doing it because you're here, because you're obviously so important.
oh, that does make sense.
It's the only way.
Very
It would make sense. It's a get well soon party, because you were ill and now you're all well.
Well, that's
Congratulations,
mightily
my lord.
thoughtful, everyone.
Immediately. Congratulations, my lord. Oh, it's amazing.
Good job, my lord.
Surely it would be a congratulations on getting well, as opposed to
I
get well
immediately
soon.
shoot Bug'em the daggers look.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. That's a very good point. Get well soon, my lord.
Bravo. Well done, my lord.
Thank you. Yes. But still, the point remains that I fear the only real cure will be a trove of treasure.
Immediately takes out a few more silver pieces and gives them to the prince. My lord, you're feeling ill.
Oh, that does, yes. Oh, thank you, Sponge. And he pockets them into his breast coat. Yes, I feel my spirits and constitution rising this very moment.
Right, we need to find the treasure quick, friends.
Well, we have sort of looked everywhere, have we not?
Well, there was a key on the skeleton. Surely that goes somewhere.
There's a key on the skeleton?
Sure,
There was a key on the belt of the skeleton.
A key on the skeleton.
Also, having walked over to this side of the upper floor, you can see that sort of room that the skeleton was guarding has a back door as well that can be reached on the east side.
Oh.
So it has sort of a western and eastern door, the western of which is guarded by the snoozing skeleton. And there is, of course, whatever is happening just below you in that wing of the first floor.
Can we see into that
standing
wing?
here?
Can we see into that wing from where we are? Just, is there a hole in the floor?
Peering down, there's not a hole in the floor per se, but sort of leaning over the edge, you can see into a hallway very similar to the one that you took, leading towards the library.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Also, everyone can give me presence tests.
Oh, okay.
That's a 17.
7.
14.
Mine's 14, but I'm going to -2 because I've got a big bloody die.
Well, you don't need your eye to hear.
14 then.
Yeah, most of you can hear the faint but very distinct sound of raucous music and singing coming from underneath you.
I look to the prince in such unbridled joy.
Well, it seems the festivities have begun.
My prince, would you like to go downstairs?
Well, I suppose. Perhaps downstairs is where the treasure lies. And I'll not hear any talk that the treasure is the friends we made along the way. I won't stand it.
We've made friends?
How come you remember the skeleton? Shut up.
Right, of course. He was more friendly last time.
Friends mean nothing in the eyes of the void, so you will never hear it from us, my prince.
Yes, only treasure matters.
Indeed. Shall we?
We shall. Yeah, the door out of here being open already, the prince sort of steps gingerly back out into the hall of the second floor. Right. Well, if it's to be the festivities, then someone lead the way.
Yes, my lord. Of course, my lord. Let's go. Here we go.
Walk straight on. Are we going to the festivities, or are we searching for treasure? He said festivities, so as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to be going up and down the stairs in full royal procession.
I'm not planning to disobey the prince, so I think it's gonna be festivities.
I'm so tempted to try the other door.
You're not gonna. You could try a door, but you're not gonna leave our group. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I know.
But you can
You're
try
welcome
a
to suggest
door.
the other door.
Okay. Let's see. As we start to leave, Buggum says, I really feel more at this point. It's the hands we've lost along the way, but okay. My lord, you don't need all of your attendance. I really feel like there aren't going to be any doors for me to open for you down at the festivities. Why don't myself and maybe one other, or it could just be me if you prefer. There are a couple of doors up here we haven't looked at yet. I could investigate, and if I do find the treasure, I could bring it to you once I've found it.
What do you mean, that one there? And he points north to the door opposite the snoozing skeleton.
Yes.
Well, go on, give it a jiggle. Everyone halt a moment. The doorman is going to try another door.
Right. I walk over to the door. Did you put my hand and the other hand on my left arm or on my right arm?
Left.
Left. Okay, cool. At least it's on the right side now. Took a couple of hours, but I finally got the right hand on the right side, even though there's another hand. Whatever. And I don't know how the hand's going to work at this point, honestly. It's fused to another hand, so I poke it at the door.
It's about the same, although it's a bit more sluggish now. It's not quite as quick to respond.
Yeah.
But it does grab onto the handle. And as you sort of like swivel your arm to open, there is a distinct denying locked sensation. The doorknob does not give.
Okay. Well, it was.
You spot the snoozing skeleton sort of lean around the corner and like shake his fist.
Right.
Sort of.
Right. I hold my hands up, but just one arm. Well, it was worth a try. Unless we want to contend with that. The door's locked, so not really much of a possibility.
Why don't we just ask him?
He seemed to like Svind.
Yes, I suppose. Someone asked the skeleton a question.
I look at Svind.
I don't speak skeleton.
Me neither.
Me neither.
Where's my prince? What would you like me to ask it?
Ask it why the room is locked, and if there's any treasure in there. But discreetly, of course.
Where is my prince?
She walks, takes a few steps towards the skeleton.
It kind of shrinks back a little. It takes like a small posture.
Oh yeah. She is literally like staring down her nose at it. She puts out a hand, palm up, in like a give motion, and puts it out that way.
Go ahead and give me a presence test.
Can I can use an omen for something, right?
Yes. Omens can be used for any number of things.
I can re-roll, right?
That is one of the things you can use an omen for.
Did we get our omens back because we rested?
Yes. You can regain D2 omens.
I only have the one, so I'll take that.
Back to full.
I'll use an omen to re-roll because I rolled a 6 there and I don't like that.
Fair enough. Go ahead and re-roll.
You win the.
Oh my god.
Can you use 2 omens on one roll? I said one roll.
Yeah. They're your omens. You can use them how you see fit.
Okay, one more.
I was about to say, I'll use my omen again, because I
Oh, okay.
want to please the prince. They're not all great, but at least it's better than it's a 9.
Should we just go bonkers and should I just spend a second omen? I have 4 omens.
You have 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, fine. Gamble.
Okay, look, a 4th reroll. Holy fucking shit. No, this is no.
6.
No, this is
9,
not. No,
4.
no.
Amazing.
This is no,
Cursed.
no. We spent 3 omens on this.
Don't you roll
Uh,
good presents? You do.
No.
The skeleton, sort of like each time you kind of like expectantly like hold your hand forward, the skeleton like it is very wary of your presence, and it does seem like it's sort of like making a calculation, and it kind of like it looks around nervously, and it every time just seems to like shake its head very sheepishly as if to say like, no, I can't. It's sort of like I can't. Please stop asking. I can't. It's almost like cowering in the corner away from you, like shaking its head.
I hate to ask, why are there so many rolls in the...
Because we spent 3 omens on trying to get the key off this bloody skeleton.
Why did you do that?
We really want the key.
Oh, okay.
The prince asked for it.
I put my hand out to get the key from the skeleton, and I tried to re-roll to get it peacefully, but we spent 3 omens on that shit, and I got a 4 still.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, you are
like
summoning all the like potent malice that you can, sort of like trying to psychically inflict it on this skeleton, and get it to bend to your will. But it is clinging to the notion that it must not obey your command, and you can see it sort of like just very nervously, like almost pleading with you to understand its case. It's just like it's sort of holding one hand against the door and it's shaking its head. It's like
I feel like
you can hear its bones like rattling with fear at this point, sort of stuck between this hard place and rock.
Sponge sees and he's like, oh, for God's sake. And he goes over, puts his arm around the skeleton, takes the skeleton's hand, and like guiding a child, like puts his hand on the key and tries to get him to just like literally use his hand to give the key to. Then you just be like, this is the way it works. It's all right, friend. I've got you.
The skeleton at this point, like it is very like it's sort of resisting with all its might, and it's still shaking its head, and it's sort of like seeing you trying to like make this move for the key. It starts trying to make a move for its sword.
I was about to say, I think Sponge doesn't even really recognize that. He's just like holding the skeleton's wrist and just be like, no, not that side. It's this side.
Oh, can I can I do the very like angry mom thing when I notice, and I know for a fact that Sponge will think I'm talking to him, but when I see the skeleton move his hands towards the sword, like kind of twirling and clasping my crucifix again to try and use its power as I say,
No, stop that.
Yeah, go ahead and give me another presence test.
oh wow, boy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So we go.
Double digits.
14.
This is it. 14.
So you yeah, the skeleton it sort of like halts. It stops making any motion, and you can sort of see like another calculation. It looks to Sponge kind of fearfully. It looks to Sven very fearfully. And go ahead and Sponge and Sven, go ahead and give me presence tests.
Oh.
5.
A 17.
There you go.
Sven, you catch from its demeanor that it has like very tentatively reached a momentary solution to its dilemma. That it cannot give you the key. That is an impossible thing for it to oblige. But perhaps it's thinking it might be able to beg for mercy later if it doesn't give you the key, but it doesn't stop you from taking it. And so the skeleton just holds perfectly still.
And I as soon as Sven says, no, don't stop doing that, I'm like, oh, sorry. That's why my roll was so bad, because I'm just like,
Not
yeah.
you, Sponge.
oh, right, okay, yeah. Now, Mr. Skellington, we need to use, you're going to use your hand. Oh, you're frozen. Come on, Mr. Skellington. Just
Its teeth are chattering with fear.
I'm like crouching down next to the thing. I'm like, it's right here. This is the thing that we want. Just reach down and give it to us.
It's trembling.
It's Sponge.
What?
Just take its hand and take the key with it.
Oh, right, okay. And at that point, I take the key in one hand and take the skeleton's hand in the other hand, and like I'm just holding hands with it while I'm unlocking the door.
All right. Yeah, you grab the key, you place it in the door lock, and it gives a very satisfying, smooth turn and click.
There you go. Wasn't that hard, was it? Take the key out of the thing, put it back on his belt, open the door. Open the door, immediately shit myself, because this is my job, close the door again, and look immediately above him.
The skeleton at this point just crouches in the corner next to the door, fully just like Shinji Evangelion, like full distress breakdown mode, like its hands over its head in the fetal position.
And I'm gonna walk over to the door, look at the skeleton, say, "Don't worry, I'm dead," and then try and open the door.
At least they couldn't kill you.
Yeah. Key in lock. You turn the handle, and it opens smoothly to reveal sort of a long, wide parlor. The smell of sort of like fresh carpet hits your noses, but the room is exceptionally dark and unlit, save for whatever flashes of lightning seem to come through a large northern bay window.
Do I see anything just as I open the door?
In the darkness, you can make out the shape of what appears to be two large sofas, one on either side of the northern wall, on either side of the bay window. And aside from that, there's sort of a small round table with an unlit lamp in the center of the room, and two objects on the southern wall that you're not quite sure what they are. They could be tables or something else.
I will step aside, but still holding the door, and say, "Door opened."
You get a smack from Svind across the head.
Ow.
As she says,
Why?
You just say after you, my lord.
I look directly at Svind and say, "After you, my lord."
She again like slaps your head and
Ow.
says,
While looking at the prince.
"After you, my lord."
Right. The prince sort of saunters over, takes no heed of the skeleton, sort of looks into the room. Oh, that's a bit dark. Does anyone have a light? Someone?
Oh, don't worry, my lord. Relight my torch again. Look over at him and go, "Don't worry, you'll get used to this."
Sponge, if you would, see that the room is safe.
Oh yeah, no worries. Right, okay. There's some seedy bits. Smells real weird in here. I don't think Sponge knows what fresh carpet smells like.
I have to say, I don't even know what fresh carpet smells like.
It's. I was about to say it's Middle Ages, so probably like freshly cleaned fur. I would imagine stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. It has the smell of sort of like freshly done laundry in a sense. It is a smell you're unfamiliar with. It is the absence of filth, effectively. Looking into this room now with the illumination of a torch, you see that it is perfectly clean. There is no dust. There are no cobwebs. There are no tracks of dirt or mud. This room is so well kept that it is almost uncanny to every other room you have ever been in.
I immediately look at Buggum. This is your house?
No.
He looks around the room again. Are you sure?
I feel like I would know if this was my house.
It looks as bad as
with the illumination of the torch, you can also see that the objects on the south wall are a pair of large display cases with sort of ornate frames and glass tops to reveal what is inside. Though from the doorway, you can't quite make out what is in the display cases.
My lord, it's got those see-through walls.
Do you mean glass, Sponge?
Yeah, that stuff. Real expensive and what have you.
It's quite true. It is pricey.
But they made cupboards out of it.
Cupboards?
Yeah.
Display cases, Sponge. Often riches are put in them. See what's in.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, no worries. Walk over to the display cases. With
All right.
no after care in the world.
Yeah, the carpeting under your feet is marvelously cushioning, sort of like comforting in a way that's almost disturbing, in contrast to, again, like mostly any other room you have experienced to this point.
In which case, I am probably walking across the floor like a dog that's just had those bootsies put on it. Just, oh, like every so often, like kicking a shoe, just being, oh, geez, oh, don't like this, oh.
Looking over the display cases, it becomes clear that both of them are filled to the brim with live wriggling maggots.
No treasure, my lord, just wiggly stuff.
Wiggly stuff?
Yes, my lord, the kind of wiggly stuff that you get in fruit that's gone bad.
Oh, well, that's certainly not treasure.
No, my lord, it's very interesting. It's inside one of these cupboards. Are they just on like boxes of maggots, or is it like inside fruit, or?
It is, yeah. So as you're looking at it, this sort of like rectangular display case with a glass top. It has like two clasps, neither of which have locks on them, and inside it is just packed fully with no fruit, no detritus, just maggots.
Oh. All right. Can I feed them?
Can you? If you must, I have no objection really, but.
All right, hold on a minute. Now then, little wiggly ones, I got some lard here. Very good for you, a mum says. Just like open the display case and drop some lard in.
Right. Yeah, you open one of the cases, it clicks open, and you start dropping some lard in, and you see all these like grubs and things sort of like spilling out onto the floor and over one another and tumbling about to sort of gnaw at the lard. And while this is happening, everyone else give me a presence test.
Alrighty.
To see if we notice Sponge getting eaten alive.
I do not.
Yep.
3.
I got a 5.
A 22, I see
For
everything.
God's sake.
Yeah, you do.
We needed this when we were speaking to the bloody.
Yeah, where was this earlier?
Instead of using 3 omens.
Yeah, the skeleton, seeing that the door has been open for a while, sort of like tugs on Sven's cloak and points up in the corner. But Sven, you have already located the source of the skeleton's distress. This strange figure crawling along the ceiling, sort of dressed in like fine butler's clothing, sort of a long penguin-tailed the coat, but their upper torso is that of like a large human fly, with like barbed chitin and large bulbous eyes, and this thing is sort of skittering silently across the ceiling, just directly above Sponge.
Sponge your sword upwards now.
For a moment, immediately panic because I haven't got like my sword on me, and then just go, all right, and grab my flail and just.
Yeah, you grab your flail and swing it wildly upwards. Go ahead and make me a melee attack.
Oh no, it would be so funny if you flail it upwards against this fly person and it drops like boop.
Attack 19, damage 7.
Jesus.
Whoa. Good grief. All right.
7 damage, I would be dead.
Yeah.
He is brutal.
You instinctively just sort of like, right, and flail upwards in a wide vertical arc. And you feel it connect with something rather deftly as this thing sort of like squeals and this like fly butler creature is like pelted off the wall and goes like flying into one of the sofas. It sort of skitters to its feet, buzzing, moving very quickly and deftly back and forth. And at this point, you have entered combat with Seamus the butler.
Oh, thank you very much for watching. You can find links to the cast in the description below the video. Please do consider checking them out when you have a moment. As always, a massive thanks to our patrons, currently on screen now, who are instrumental in keeping the shows coming and continue to astound me with your support. For now though, last call has arrived and closing time is here. You are welcome back anytime you desire. Always feel free to wander in.